Hello, my name is Ali. I'm a technical architect at Cisco Enterprise Networking team. In this demo, we are going to explore Umbrella's secure internet gateway with Cisco SD-WAN. Before we get into the demo, let's quickly set up some context. Cloud is driving the major shift of the network architecture. Over the last 5 years, there has been a drastic increase in internet traffic. Organizations have continued to adopt cloud applications and running more of their workloads from the cloud. Now, the percentage of internet traffic is typically higher than the internal traffic. Backhauling all this traffic through expensive MPLS lines and VPNs doesn't make sense anymore. This all centralized approach forces all of the internet traffic through the single stack of security appliances, which is leading to performance problems, impacting user satisfactions, and causing issues with SaaS adoption in many organizations. With Cisco SD-WAN and Umbrella, you can easily protect your branches and users in minutes. Through SD-WAN portal, you can automate the tunnel creation toward Umbrella. You have the option to choose Umbrella Cloud Data Center, or you could leave it to the edge device to choose the closest data center for better application experience and middle mile optimization. Umbrella's DNS layer security is the first check for malicious or unwanted domains. This first check reduces the amount of traffic that is then sent to the cloud-delivered firewall and secure web gateway. Next, Umbrella's cloud-delivered firewall enforces IP, port, and the protocol rules. And finally, the secure web gateway checks all web traffic for malware and policy violations. In this demo, I'm going to cover the SIG integration with Cisco SD-WAN for secure cloud edge use case. In the topology, we have two locations, data center and remote branch, both with direct internet access. We are going to automate the SIG tunnel creation and perform some testing with web content filtration. Let's jump to the demo and see that in action. Let's start with the feature template creation. Mainly, we have two templates to be created over here, Cisco SIG credential and Cisco SIG secure internet gateway. Let's explore the first one. Under this template, basically, we are going to define our SIG provider, which is in this case, Umbrella. We are going to define organization ID, registration, and secret keys. Those details can be either obtained from Umbrella portal, or we can retrieve them automatically through this feature template. Now let's go and explore the other feature templates, which is Cisco SIG Secure Internet Gateway. Under this template, we are going again to define our provider, which is in this case Umbrella. We have the option to define a tracker for the tunnel health check. And we're gonna define number of IPsec tunnel interfaces toward Umbrella. Each tunnel support 250 MB. We can configure up to 4 tunnels in equal cost multiple path scenario. So that would give us around 1 gig. For sake of the demo, we are going to leave it for 1 pair as active backup. As we said in the introduction, we can either leave it to the edge device to choose the closest data center of Umbrella, or we can hard code that manually. Let's, for sake of demo, leave the first or the primary tunnel for the C edge, and let's hard code the other one. From here, we have the list. Let's, for instance, choose the first one, LA. Let's do update. The third thing we need to do, we need to define the concerned VPN. Let's pick up, for example, VPN 1 over here. And we need to define which traffic we would like to send it over Umbrella. And that can be defined under the service route. So in this case, I'm basically sending all the traffic toward Umbrella SIG. The last thing we need to do, we need to call these different feature templates from a device template. Let's go to this device template and call these features. The first feature, we need to call it under transport and management VPN. which is the Cisco Secure Internet Gateway. I'm gonna call the feature that we created. Under the service VPN, we have our VPN 1. And under additional template, we're gonna call Cisco SIG credential template. Update. Next. Configure device. Let's jump to Umbrella portal. We'll go under deployment. Under network tunnels. As we can see over here, there are no network tunnels configured yet. Once this workflow finish, it will take around few minutes to get the tunnels details populated over Umbrella. So we see the tunnels over here. They are not established yet, but the communication has been established between vManage and Umbrella. Before these came up, these tunnels come up, let's just have a look at the tunnel name. We see the tunnel name is formed out of the site ID, system IP, and interface name. Let's give it a couple of minutes till the tunnel established completely between the edge device and Umbrella. Okay, I have now one tunnel up, which is the one we hard coded to LA. The other one still being discovered by the CH to choose the closest data center. Before this come up, let's try to do some testing. I have one machine behind VPN 1. Over here, let's do some testing over here. Let's, for example, check the IP address. Public IP address 8.2, Cisco Open DNS, and the country is United States. We'll do the same test again once we have the other tunnel up. That tunnel is supposed to be the primary and this one, the backup. Now let's do another test. Let's, for instance, browse one of the social networking sites, Twitter. Let's go and try to block this site now. From Umbrella, we go under policy. We have the different policies that we can apply as we discussed, DNS policy, firewall policy, web policy, and we have DLP as well. Let's go to web policy and try to add a rule over here. Add a rule. Rule action block identity. I'm going to choose the source as the network tunnels and the destination, the content category that I'm going to block over here, the social networking. Let's go down and browse. Yeah, social networking is over here. Save. Enable. Meanwhile, let's check if the primary tunnel. Not yet. So let's do the test to browse Twitter. Just to clear the caching. Let's do the test again. Now we see the site is blocked due to content filtering. Let's go back and with this to come up to do our final test and to check our IP address once the primary tunnel come up. Now the first tunnel came, or the primary tunnel came up, and we see that the CH chooses basically London as the closest data center. Now my setup is based on Amsterdam, and the closest Umbrella data center is in London. I would like to emphasize on this point because Umbrella has a wide and global peering with multiple service provider, cloud provider, and SaaS provider, and that can help you with the middle mile optimization. Now let's do the same test that we've done before, just to see. So initially the IP address was pointing to the United States, mainly to basically to LA. Let's do the same test again and see our IP address. Now it points to United Kingdom. So that's all what I have. I hope it was informative, and I would like to thank you for watching.